Hello, my name is Yvonne Godoy, and I am partnered with Grace Martin. Here is my weekly time log for Module 3. If you click here, it'll take you directly to my Canvas. If you clicked here, you get the Canvas and then the code as well. So to begin with, I started off working on my midterm screencast of the final project. I just reviewed the QM standards in the Canvas Module 1 and prepared a table. Then afterwards, I went ahead and I explored under the learner assessment and evaluation under design. And in this area, I did explore question banks and rubrics. And I've kind of indicated here where I read a little bit about that and viewed some videos. I incorporated a exam using a question bank. And the reason why I did this is I've never done it before. This was new to me. But as you can see here, I set it up to where I would pick 4 questions from a previous exam, 4 other questions from another exam, and then I incorporated 2 more. So this was pretty neat for me. I've never done it before, as I mentioned. Then with the rubrics, I have never done a rubric through Canvas either. I've always used a hard copy or one that was passed down to me since I did take over a course. And so I kind of incorporated my own rubric in here. And I really, really, really liked this one. So this was new for me as well. Following that, I did have a Zoom conference that I collaborated with my partner. We went over Module 3 for assignments and preparations. Another really interesting tool that I went through was grading schemes. This was also very different for me. Since we are in a dental hygiene program, we don't follow the regular grading schemes, if you will. For us, a 90 to an 83 would indicate a B, whereas in regular institutions, 90 would be considered an A. And then a C, 83 to a 75. So this would really, really work in my program. And then I saw how you could view that when we're turning in our grades. It has the letter grade here for you already. So I don't have to go and look at that little grading scheme chart just to make sure I'm documenting the correct grade. It already has it in here for me. So that was another bonus for me. In addition, further on down, still in the learner accessibility, I did go through the general course usability and navigation. Since I do have buttons and I do have images, I went ahead and I incorporated the button in the first page so that it's easy for someone to just come in and take a look at the page. And I did incorporate some buttons, and it would take the student straight to the first module. I also added text on messages, so on the images, so that you can see that. And here you can see where, I incorporated this image and I wrote down here the alt text of what it was and what it looked like. I also included information like that for images that I incorporated in or within the module. So like for this module, the image, the description is right here. Teeth surrounded by red marginal tissue that is reseated with plaque and calculus on detention. I also incorporated, for easy visual context in instruction, a link for Vimeo, because I am having students go in and screencast an assignment for me, which is on a case study. So I also linked it here, and this is where it would direct them to, which is the homepage for Vimeo. Sorry. And then also I incorporated under usability, visual design. And what I did here is I did give instructions as well as the examples. So here's an example of how to read a CAL or a gingival margin. Okay, and it also gives an example. So this is also within the module under updated handouts. And then finally, incorporating the third-party LTIs. Since I did have some trouble going into some of those, not only did I integrate Vimeo, but I attempted to do the Open Badge Factory. That was one that I could not get into either. And I did view the one that Grace had placed on there for us. So I kind of went in there. There wasn't really much that I could probably, I mean, I guess I could have if I would have kind of delved into it deeper, but nothing that would really fit what I've already done, the way I've designed my module. But I did go in there and I did explore it. I thought that would kind of be a good idea to incorporate as maybe one of these certificates that could be given once the course has been succeeded with success. And that concludes my log. Thank you.
Perfect. I'm going to share my screen now. Screen 3. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Grace Martin, and this week then I worked with Yvonne. And so on my time log, then the first thing that I covered was accessibility. I made sure to start to organize module 2 that I was working on, and I learned how to use pages to create a home screen for the students to look at whenever they come to the course. So for module 2, then the first week that they log into this, then they will see this. And it breaks down what the students will be doing for the week, and it gives them the option to click on the picture to go straight into module 2. And I also included a class schedule for them to know exactly what they'll be doing. And when they click on the picture, then it takes them to the types of ecosystems, and I have created it to where there's an overview, and I separated it out by days. The next thing that I did was I went through and created a syllabus for the course. I used the template that we were provided for the different learning objectives for the students to follow. So I was able to create this for the course. I also went through the QM standards and a little bit more of the syllabus. So when I go into the QM standards, I just went through the K-12 and compared it to my course to see what I have and some of the things that I want to add on to it. And over the last few days, then I've really just been working on going through the modules, making sure that everything is accessible for the students, adding in LTI. So I just want to go over how it looks as they go down the list. So module 2 overview, then that just takes students back to the main homepage where it gives them the overview. I included a roll call area. I didn't make it visible to students just because it's more important for me to see it than them, but it reminds me to take roll call. So going through then Monday, then the students then they have some articles that they can read. And I linked those for them. And then they watch a video lesson. And I made sure that any video lesson had the date along with it. So to make sure that none of them get confused or put in the wrong areas, then I put the day of the week. For the course, the first project that they'll be doing is the ecosystem diorama project. And the way that I set it up was to make sure that everything was separated out and had a lot of white space in between it so that they don't get confused or mixed up. And I was able to create a rubric to go along with it. And I also included a discussion post for them to do. Tuesday kind of has the same layout with the video lesson. The good thing about using YouTube is that it's accessible because it comes with the captions already, so the students will be able to use that as well. A reminder of the ecosystems project, another video lesson on Wednesdays, and the ecosystem project. And then I was able to start doing some LTIs, and so I was doing the vocabulary crossword for the Friday's quiz preparation with the directions to make sure that the students are doing it. Then I have it to where they have to upload a screenshot of them completing it. And this is what the crossword puzzle looks like. And it talks about the different things that they have to look at. So For example, if they were to do two relating to land pertaining to environments on land, then it'd be terrestrial, and they just fill that out. Another LTI that I added was Quizlet. So students are able to do the flashcards, or they can do a practice test to prepare them. And then finally, what I worked on was today I went through and I did the usability checklist to make sure that everything was good to go for the students with some examples. And by using the checklist, I was able to make sure that everything is made in a way that students are able to see it. And my entire course is published so far so the students can view it. And so that is what I did this week for my weekly time log.